Hi, I'm Vivian Scott, author of Conflict Resolution at Work for Dummies and co-creator of AnytimeSeminars.com. Let's face it, angry employees in the workplace can be confusing, but they can also be very intimidating because their outbursts, their moodiness, all of that angry behavior impacts everyone around them. If you need to know how to turn an angry employee into a good employee, follow a few basic steps. The first thing you're going to want to do is spend some time thinking about particular events or incidents that have caused this person to be angry. And the reason you're going to do that is not to dissect the incident itself, but to step back for a second and consider what might really be at stake for that employee. When emotion is really high for any of us, in particular anger, that means that one of our core values, like respect or autonomy, fitting in, something like that, is being compromised for that person. So their anger is going to be less about an incident and more about a core value. If you want to know more about core values, you can check out chapter 2 in my book. Once you've had some time to sort of reflect on those events and the emotional reaction that that person has had to those events, you're going to want to set up a private meeting with him or her. And the purpose of the meeting is going to be to test out some of your assumptions on what's really at stake. If the person wants to only talk about the details of an event, ask them some open-ended questions like, well, what was it about what Dave did that was most upsetting for you? And through that interaction, you'll probably get to a point where that person is able to communicate to you that they felt disrespected, or that they just want to be able to do their job, which is another clue for autonomy, those kinds of things. Then it will be your turn to talk about what's important for you. So, the safety of the other co-workers, the quality of work getting done in a certain amount of time, that sort of thing. You'll want to make sure that you're making a list of all your deal breakers moving forward. And then once you've done that, so you've heard about what his core values probably are, and then you've talked about your deal breakers, the next step is going to be to say, how can we find a solution that's going to work for both of us? So I want to make sure that your values are being met, I want to make sure that my deal breakers are in play, and brainstorm some ideas to do that. Once you've come up with a few agreements, you're going to set some short interval meetings to talk about how things are going, talk about any adjustments that need to be made, and be really clear about the consequences for not changing one's behavior. If you need to offer them additional help, do that, but set the time frame in which you're willing to work with this person, and the consequences for not seeing progress. And that's how you can turn an angry employee into a good employee. I'm Vivian Scott, author of Conflict Resolution at Work for Dummies and co-creator of AnytimeSeminars.com.